नमस्ते। मंजरी नृत्य कला मंदिर की ओर से मैं मंजीरियन सुनीला पोद्दार अपने सभी गुरुवर्य मार्गदर्शकों का, गुरुजनों का और सभी रसिक दर्शकों का हार्दिक स्वागत करती हूँ। प्रलय के निकट नवनिर्मिति का अंश छिपा होता है। सृष्टि के लयबद्ध झूलों में नृत्य का भाव छिपा होता है। आइए इन पंक्तियों को मूर्त रूप देते हुए नृत्य के स्पंदनों को स्पर्श करें। मंजीरी नृत्य कला मंदिर प्रस्तुत मंजीरियंस आयोजित नृत्य स्पंदने बातचीत कला के साथ। भारतीय शास्त्रीय नृत्य शैली भाग 2 के आज के हमारे इस पुष्प में हम स्पर्श करेंगे ओडिसी, कथकली, कुचिपुड़ी, सत्रिया, मणिपुरी इन शैलियों को। आज के हमारे पैनलिस्ट है आदरणीय झेलमताई परांजपे, आदरणीय गोपाल कृष्णन सर, आदरणीय शैलजाताई देसाई, आदरणीय प्रतिशाताई सुरेश और आदरणीय पूर्विताताई मुखर्जी। हमारे इस उपक्रम का पूरा श्रेय जाता है मंजीरी नृत्य कला मंदिर की संस्थापिका संगीताचार्य श्रीमती वैशालीताई दुधे जी को। वैशालीताई एक प्रसिद्ध कथक नृत्यांगना तथा आदरणीय डॉक्टर सौ मंजीरी देव जी की ज्येष्ठ शिष्या है। वैशालीताई ने प्रथम श्रेणी में नृत्य विशारद, नृत्य अलंकार और कुलपति कालिदास संस्कृत विश्वविद्यालय रामटेक से नृत्य में एमए किया है। वैशालीताई ने अपने गुरु डॉक्टर मंजीरी देव जी के मार्गदर्शन में कथक नृत्य शैली में बोल रचनाओं में तिहाई का महत्व और विविधता इस विषय में अपने शोध प्रबंध के लिए अखिल भारतीय गंधर्व महाविद्यालय मुंबई विश्वविद्यालय से संगीताचार्य की उपाधि भी प्राप्त की है। नृत्य विषय पर किताबें, सीडीज और विभिन्न कार्यशालाओं और व्याख्यानों के माध्यम से देश विदेश में मार्गदर्शन कर रही वैशालीताई त्रैमासिक नृत्य संध्या अथक कथक का भी आयोजन करती है। ना थके है पांव कभी, ना ही हिम्मत हारी है, मैंने देखे हैं कई दौर, आज भी सफर जारी है। उनकी इसी सीख में उनका आशीर्वाद लेते हुए आगे बढ़ते हैं। मैं मंजीरियन राजश्री साठे जी को अनुरोध करती हूँ कि वे आज के इन प्रतिभावान पैनलिस्ट का परिचय दें। राजश्री।
नमस्ते, धन्यवाद सुनीलाताई। यहाँ उपस्थित सभी आदरणीय गुरुजनों को सादर प्रणाम। आप सभी का परिचय देने का काम मुझे सौंपा गया है। आपका अपने कार्य क्षेत्र में इतना बड़ा, इतना प्रतिभाशाली कार्य है कि उसे इतने कम समय में बताना बहुत कठिन है, लेकिन एक छोटा सा प्रयास करती हूँ। शुरू करते हैं आज के हमारे पहले पैनलिस्ट के साथ, ओडिसी की प्रसिद्ध नृत्यांगना गुरु झेलमताई परांजपे जी। प्रणाम झेलमताई। आपका जन्म और शिक्षण मुंबई में हुआ। आपने 11वीं कक्षा में ओडिसी नृत्य सीखना आरंभ किया। आपको गुरु शंकर बेहेरा जी और गुरु केलुचरण मोहपात्र जी से मार्गदर्शन और उनका आशीर्वाद मिला। स्मितालय यह संस्था आपकी अपनी सहेली प्रसिद्ध अभिनेत्री स्वर्गीय स्मिता पाटिल जी के स्मृति में आपने स्थापन की। मुख में स्मित है, बदन में ताल है, कदमों में लय है, यही है स्मितालय। इस संस्था के माध्यम से आपने पहले एक नृत्यांगना, एक नृत्य शिक्षिका और फिर एक नृत्य दिग्दर्शक के नाते पिछले 43 वर्षों से इस क्षेत्र में कार्य किया है। आपने देशों विदेशों में नृत्य प्रस्तुतिकरण किए हैं। महाराष्ट्र सरकार सांस्कृतिक पुरस्कार, महार पुरस्कार, कुमार गंधर्व पुरस्कार जैसे मानांकित पुरस्कारों से आप सम्मानित हैं। आगे बढ़ते हैं हमारे दूसरे पैनलिस्ट की तरफ। कथकली नृत्य शैली के गुरु श्री कलामंडलम सी गोपाल कृष्णन सर। नमस्ते गोपाल सर। आपने केरला कलामंडलम डीम्ड यूनिवर्सिटी से कथकली इस नृत्य शैली में पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन किया है। आपने पद्म भूषण डॉक्टर कलामंडलम रमनकुट्टी नायर सर, एमपीएस नंबूदरी जी जैसे अनेक विख्यात गुरुओं से कथकली की शिक्षा प्राप्त की। आपने भारत के अलावा चाइना, यूएसए, रशिया, नॉर्थ कोरिया, यूरोप, मिडिल ईस्ट जैसे कई देशों में नृत्य प्रदर्शन किया है। आप दूरदर्शन के ए ग्रेडेड आर्टिस्ट हैं। आपने सत्यवान सावित्री और ऐसे जैसे अनेक नृत्य नाटिकाओं का नृत्य दिग्दर्शन किया है। आप 38 वर्षों से नालंदा नृत्य कला महाविद्यालय में डॉक्टर कनक रेड्डी जी के साथ मोहिनी अट्टम नृत्य शैली का पुनरुत्थान एवं प्रचार के लिए कार्यरत है। प्रवासी कलाश्री, नृत्य चूड़ामणि, कल्पतरु कला सम्मान, नवरत्न सम्मान जैसे अनेक सम्मान आपने प्राप्त किए हैं। पिछले 34 वर्षों से कलाश्री के डोंबिवली शाखा में आप कथकली की शिक्षा दे रहे हैं। इसी तरह बढ़ते हैं हमारे अगले पैनलिस्ट की ओर। गुरु डॉक्टर शैलजाताई देसाई। नमस्ते दीदी। नृत्य किन्नर हैदराबाद की संचालिका, प्रसिद्ध कुचिपुड़ी नृत्य गुरु डॉक्टर मदल्ली उषा गायत्री जी की आप ज्येष्ठ शिष्या है। आपको श्री कृष्ण लीला तारांगिणी इस प्रबंध के लिए यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ हैदराबाद ने पीएचडी यानी डॉक्टरेट यह पदवी देकर सम्मानित किया। आप एमए इन डांस में गोल्ड मेडलिस्ट है। आप हैदराबाद दूरदर्शन केंद्र की ए ग्रेडेड आर्टिस्ट है। भारत के साथ विदेशों में भी पिछले 35 वर्षों से आपने कुचिपुड़ी नृत्य शैली पर आधारित लेक्चर डेमोन्स्ट्रेशंस किए हैं। नाट्य रत्न, समाज शक्ति, तरंग रत्न, नेपा शिरोमणि जैसे कई पुरस्कारों की आप प्राप्त करता है। इंटरनेशनल डांस काउंसिल की सदस्य होने के साथ युवाओं में कुचिपुड़ी नृत्य का प्रचार करने के लिए IRCEN न्यू दिल्ली से आप जुड़ी हुई है। नृत्य किन्नर की मुंबई शाखा में कुचिपुड़ी की शास्त्रोक्त शिक्षा देने का कार्य आप कर रही है। ऐसे ही हमारे अगले पैनलिस्ट है नृत्य गुरु प्रतिशाताई सुरेश जी। नमस्ते दीदी। आप शास्त्रीय नृत्य शैली भरतनाट्यम और सत्रिय की प्रचारक है। आपने आयु के 5वें वर्ष में नृत्य प्रवास आरंभ किया। आपने कला क्षेत्र चेन्नई में भरतनाट्यम की शिक्षा पूर्ण करने के पश्चात सत्रिय नृत्य शैली पुनः सीखना शुरू किया। आपने इस नृत्य शैली को लोकप्रिय बनाने में कोई कसर नहीं छोड़ी। आपने 2008 में मुंबई में प्रतिश्रुति फाउंडेशन की सत्रिय नृत्य शैली तथा संगीत शैली के प्रचार हेतु स्थापना की। आपने भारत के अलावा विदेशों में भी एकल तथा समूह नृत्य सादरीकरण किया है। आज की हमारी अगली पैनलिस्ट है मणिपुरी नृत्य शैली की नृत्यांगना गुरु पूर्बिता मुखर्जी। नमस्ते दीदी। पूर्बिता दीदी ने अपने बचपन से ही गुरु बिपिन सिंह जी और गुरु कलावती जी से मणिपुरी नृत्य की शिक्षा प्राप्त की है। मुंबई में आपको पद्मश्री गुरु दर्शना झवेरी जी और गुरु लता सना देवी जी का मार्गदर्शन प्राप्त हुआ। आप नर्तन विशारद और नर्तन अलंकार इस उपाधि से सम्मानित है। आप दूरदर्शन केंद्र की ए ग्रेडेड आर्टिस्ट है। आपने खजुराहो, कोणार्क, उदय शंकर, काला घोड़ा जैसे अनेक नृत्य महोत्सवों में अपना नृत्य प्रस्तुत किया है। आपने ICCR के साथ पूर्ण यूरोप में नृत्य हेतु प्रवास किया है। आप खुद की एकेडमी से मणिपुरी नृत्य की शिक्षा दे रही है। आप जैसे सभी मान्यवर गुरुओं का हमें अमूल्य समय मिला, इसलिए हम बहुत ही धन्य हैं। इसी के साथ आगे का कार्यक्रम आगे बढ़ाने के लिए ये सूत्र मैं हमारी मंजीरियन सुनीला ताई को सौंपती हूँ। धन्यवाद।
शुक्रिया राजश्री। हर किसी के सपने हैं, हर किसी की कहानी है। इस छनक से ही पहचान लो, इन घुंघरुओं की दास्तान पुरानी है। आइए इस नृत्य सूत्र को जोड़े आज के हमारे विषय से, जो है भारतीय शास्त्रीय नृत्य शैली। मैं आप सभी से गुजारिश करना चाहूंगी कि आपके नृत्य शैली का हमें अल्प परिचय दें। झेलम ताई, हम आपसे शुरू करते हैं।
नमस्ते।
नमस्ते।
पहले तो मैं I will say a very big thank you for organizing something like this. आप सबको और आपके गुरु वैशाली दीदी को भी। As you know, Odissi is the classical dance style from the eastern state of India, Odisha. Odisha is उड़ीसा में इतने सारे मंदिर है और मंदिरों में इतने सुंदर सुंदर शिल्प है, beautiful sculptures in most of the temples of Orissa. And if you look at those sculptures, you know, कभी कभी ऐसे लगता है कि हमारी जो नृत्य शैली है उसको पकड़ के उसको फ्रीज करके मंदिरों में डाला है, या तो मंदिरों की जो स्कल्पचर्स है वो जीवित होके हमारे सामने आए हैं. So one can say it is a riddle or a conundrum that what came first, whether the dance style came first or sculpture came first. लेकिन the earliest mention of dance in Orissa is in 2nd century BC. भुवनेश्वर के बाहर उदयगिरी caves है, उसमें रानी गुम्फा में there is a sculpture. On one side you have a king and 2 women, so he maybe his 2 queens on 2 sides of him, as if कहीं पे देख रहे हैं, ऐसे वो sculpture है. और दूसरी तरफ ऐसे sculpture है, there are 4 women, 4 स्त्री नर्तक है जो अलग अलग, कोई पूरी खड़ी है, कोई थोड़ी बैठी है, और उनके पीछे you see the musicians. So ये sculpture रानी गुम्फा में है, और it is said that रानी गुम्फा जब excavation हुआ, archaeologists say that रानी गुम्फा is from 2nd century BC. इसका मतलब है कि उड़ीसा में डांस कितने पहले से है, लेकिन हमें ये नहीं मालूम कि जब वो डांस होता था और अभी जो हम कर रहे हैं वो समान है कि नहीं, लेकिन कुछ तो धागा उसमें होगा ही. So basically Odissi is a temple dance. Its beginning, its life, everything is from the temples. हम सबको देवदासी ये टर्म मालूम है, लेकिन ओडिशा में उनको देवदासी नहीं बोलते, उनको महारी बोलते हैं. महारी मतलब महत नारी, the chosen one, or the one who is selected to do the seva of the Lord. और ये महारी जगन्नाथ के मंदिर में स्थित थे. They used to be different sects of महारीज. कुछ जो गाने वाले थे उनको गाउनी महारी बोलते थे, जो नाचने वाले थे उनको नाचुनी महारी बोलते थे, और जो सिर्फ जगन्नाथ के मूर्ति को हवा देते थे उनको गौड़ासिनी महारी बोलते थे. ऐसे there were different sects of maharis, and there was this nachuni mahari, they were the bhitari maharis जो सिर्फ जगन्नाथ के मूर्ति के सामने नृत्य करते थे, वो और दूसरा कोई अंदर नहीं आ सकता था. And ये this tradition of maharis in Jagannath Mandir began in towards the end of the 12th century. मतलब Jagannath Mandir was built in the beginning of the 12th century, and गीत गोविंद जयदेव का काफी लोगों को मालूम होगा. जयदेव ने गीत गोविंद भी 12वीं शतक में लिखा है. तो the temple was built first, and towards the end of the 12th century, Gita Govind was performed in and sung and danced in the mandir. Now this tradition went on very, very well till the 16th century. And from the 16th century, it started declining. मतलब जितना तब तक जितने महारी इतनी खुल के नृत्य करते थे, लेकिन मंदिर में, मंदिर के बाहर कभी नहीं, एकदम भीतर जगन्नाथ की मूर्ति के सामने. एंड देयर वर सम महारीज जो नट मंदिर में बाहर करते थे, लेकिन मंदिर से बाहर कभी नहीं निकले थे. एंड वो डिक्लाइन, इट स्टार्टेड डिक्लाइनिंग, मतलब थोड़ा थोड़ा वो कम होने लगा. और देयर आर वेरियस रीजंस गिवन टू इट. और सबसे महत्वपूर्ण कारण ये है कि ये महारी की परंपरा क्यों घटती गई. तो ये एक महत्वपूर्ण कारण ये है कि अफगान लोग, मुगल लोग जो भारत पे आक्रमण करते थे, एंड व्हाट वाज देयर एम, आक्रमण करके मंदिरों को लूटना, मंदिर में जो भी है संपत्ति वो वो अपने पास ले जाना। लेकिन जब वो जगन्नाथ मंदिर में आए तो उन्होंने देखा कि इतनी सुंदर स्त्रियां और इतने सुंदर नृत्य करते हैं, तो वो भी उनको चाहिए था। सो दे स्टार्टेड फोर्सिंग द महारीज टू डांस इन द, मतलब दरबार में नृत्य करने के आदेश करने लगे। सो दे हैड टू डांस इन द कोर्ट्स ऑफ द रॉयल कोर्ट्स ऑफ द किंग्स, एंड सम ऑफ देम वर टेकन इनटू द कॉन्क्यूबाइन। कॉन्क्यूबाइन मतलब अभी हिंदी शब्द मुझे अभी याद नहीं आ रहा है कॉन्क्यूबाइन का, बट दैट मीन्स दे वर मेड मिस, जैसे कि मुगल लोगों को बहुत सारी पत्नियां होती है, हैरम 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 भी बोलते हैं। आई होप यू अंडरस्टैंड, मुझे हिंदी शब्द नहीं अभी याद आ रहा है। लेकिन ये जब होने लगा तो फॉर द महारीज इट वाज कि अरे मेरा ये जो मेरा इतना स्पिरिचुअल नृत्य है, जो मैं सिर्फ जगन्नाथ के लिए करती हूँ, प्रभु के लिए, प्रभु के सामने करती हूँ, ये नृत्य मैं कैसे करके दरबार में करूं? और ये तो छी हो गया। इससे अच्छा है कि मैं प्रभु मुझे मरण दे कि मैं ये नहीं करती। मुझे ये बोलते बोलते भी शरीर पे कांटा आता है, बिकॉज आई कैन इमेजिन व्हाट दे मस्ट हैव फेल्ट। एंड तो उनको वो दरबार में नृत्य नहीं करना था, इसलिए दे स्टार्टेड हाइडिंग, कि वो मंदिर जाते ही नहीं थे, कि नृत्य करना ही नहीं, क्योंकि हमें पकड़ के दरबार ले जाएंगे। तो द स्कॉलर्स ऑफ दैट टाइम, जो पंडित लोग उस काल में थे, उन्हें बहुत चिंता लगी कि इतना सुंदर जो हमारा नृत्य है, ये जो हमारी इतनी सुंदर नृत्य शैली है, वो तो लोप हो जाएगी, इट विल जस्ट वैनिश, इट विल डिसअपियर। सो व्हाट शुड वी डू? सो तब दूसरी परंपरा चालू होगी, उसे बोलते हैं गोटीपुआ। मतलब गोटिए is one, pua in Odia. Gotiye is one and pua is boy. So one boy, goti pua. So very young boys, मतलब those who have not attained puberty, मतलब जिनको मुच्छी दाढ़ी अभी तक कुछ आई नहीं है, very sweet faces, such young boys were chosen, and these boys were taught this dance, and they were dressed up as girls and they did this dance. So देखो, तो उनको, वो तो दरबार में जा सकते थे और उनको तो कोई हैरम में अपने शैया घर में ले नहीं जा सकता था, क्योंकि लड़के थे। तो वहां से गोटीपुआ ट्रेडिशन और गोटीपुआ परंपरा चालू हो गई। So that was one step that Odissi took, one big step outside the temple. So I can say that ओडिसी पहले महारी परंपरा थी, उसके बाद गोटीपुआ परंपरा हो गई। और ये गोटीपुआ लोग हर जगह डांस करते थे, ये बच्चे लोग, कि कहीं पे शादी है, चलो वहां डांस करते हैं, कहीं पे कुछ दूसरा फंक्शन है, वहां डांस करते हैं, राजाओं के दरबार में डांस करते हैं। तो क्या हो गया, ये जो इतनी सुंदर नृत्य शैली सिर्फ मंदिर में थी, वो फैल गई और बहुत सारे लोग उसका लाभ ले सके। और क्या हुआ, दीज लिटिल बॉयज हु, जैसे वो बड़े हो गए, जैसे मुच्छी आ गई, दाढ़ी आ गई, तो वो ग्रेस वाज लॉस्ट, दे डिड नॉट लुक लाइक विमेन व्हेन दे वर ड्रेस्ड अप एज गर्ल्स। तो ये बहुत सारे ये बड़े होके गुरु बन गए, वो सिखाने लगे। जैसे कि हमारे गुरु केलुचरण महापात्र, वो भी बचपन में गोटीपुआ नर्तक थे। और वैसे आई मीन आई हैव टोल्ड यू इन शॉर्ट अबाउट द हिस्ट्री ऑफ ओडिशा, ऑफ ओडिसी, कि कैसे टेम्पल में से कैसे बाहर आ गई, और कैसे अभी हमारे जैसे नर्तक क्यों है यहाँ पे, गुरु क्यों है, क्योंकि ये जो गोटीपुआ डांसर्स थे बड़े होके गुरु हो गए, और वो गुरु लोग और सिखाने लगे, और ऐसे फैल गया वो नृत्य। मुझे एक आई विल लाइक टू से हमारे नृत्य शैली की व्हाट शैल आई से peculiarity, what makes it different from other styles. आप अगर देख सकते हैं तो हमारे शरीर का ये जो भाग है, ये जो द टॉर्सो, ये हम
बहुत मतलब साइड टू साइड या राउंड, ये पैरों के साथ पैरों का नर्तन करते हुए ये, और कलाई रिस्ट के साथ बहुत सारा यूज होता है. दैट इज वाई हमारी स्टाइल बहुत फ्लूइड, आई विल से फ्लूइड, और आई विल से वेरी लिरिकल. दैट इज द वे द स्टाइल इज. और दो चीजें बताऊंगी कि आपने कृष्ण के बहुत सारे फोटो देखे होंगे, चित्र देखे होंगे. उसमें कृष्ण की मुरली होती है और पैर जैसे रखते हैं और जिस पोजीशन में खड़े होते हैं उसको ओडिसी में त्रिभंगी बोलते हैं. क्विकली आई विल ट्राई टू शो यू. ये, this is the straight body, it is pushed to one side, this makes it Tribhangi, and the head which is straight goes to one side and the whole figure then becomes Tribhangi. So Tribhangi is the position of Krishna, and Chauka, where we sit and our hands are spread out like this. This is akin to Lord Jagannath. Lord Jagannath and Lord Krishna are one and the same. But Krishna is most often shown in the Tribhangi pose and Jagannath is most often shown in the Chauka pose. Is that enough or should I tell some more details? Kahan gayi?
Can we show your slide, that Didi?
Huh?
Can we show your slide?
Which slide?
The performance which you have sent us on YouTube.
I have sent you something.
Yes, Didi.
Okay, show.
Yes. Shraddha. Yes, Shraddha, please share the screen. बहुत खूब.
सिर्फ मैं एक बात यहाँ बोलना चाहूंगी.
Sure.
ये जो क्लिप आपने अभी दिखाया उसमें हिंदुस्तानी म्यूजिक था नहीं, लेकिन ये क्वेश्चन बाद में. सो दिस वाज एन एक्सपेरिमेंट. हाँ, मतलब ये प्रभाताई के 75th बर्थडे के लिए उन्होंने मुझे उनकी चीजों पे पूरा 1 घंटे का ओडिसी नृत्य प्रोग्राम बिठाने को कहा था एज अ प्रेजेंट टू हर फॉर हर 75th बर्थडे. तो उसमें का थोड़ा सा हिस्सा मैंने और कहीं किया था, वो है। सो एक्चुअली ये डांस प्योर ट्रेडिशनल है हमारा, बाकी सब एवरीथिंग, ऑल द म्यूजिक, सिंगर, एवरीथिंग इज उड़ीसी, बट हिंदुस्तानी चीज है। ठीक है, ओके।
यस, समय के इन पलों को थामना तो मुमकिन नहीं है दीदी, लेकिन इन पलों की खुशबू की महक से महकते हुए आगे बढ़ते हैं। गोपाल जी, आपकी नृत्य शैली के बारे में जानना चाहेंगे? गोपाल सर अनम्यूट करेंगे? गोपाल सर अनम्यूट करेंगे?
सुना दे रहा ना? सुन रहे ना?
हाँ।
Yeah. Okay. Thank you to everyone. Manjari Nritya Madhyam to give me an opportunity on this occasion. Thank you all the senior dancers. जलंताई ने अभी एकदम अच्छे से ओडिसी के बारे में बोला, अभी मुझे कथकली के बारे में बोलने का है। That Kathakali is a dance form from Kerala. It's based on Nadi Shastra, and the history is more than 500 years old. Okay, then actually Kathakali, पहले कथकली नहीं था उसका नाम, कृष्णनाटम एक डांस फॉर्म, एक कला। कृष्णनाटम is taken made by the Manavedan Nambudiri, the Kozhikode Samudiri. He made that. Then the seventh chapter of that's Krishna stories, invite Krishnanatam to Kottarakara Tambran on the south side of Kerala. So that time, उधर का राजा जो कोट्टारकरा राजा, उनको ये मानवेदन बोला साउथ साइड में आने को तैयार नहीं था, तो रिजेक्ट किया, you don't want to play on this story and that side. तो कोट्टारकरा तंबरा ने खुद ऐसा एक नया एक बनाया रामनाटम करके, रामन का ऊपर पूरा नया स्टोरी बनाया। एंड वो टाइम में उधर का जो सोल्जर्स था, वो राजा का मंदिर, उसमें कोर्ट में कितना सोल्जर्स था, वो लोग सब टीचर्स एंड एवरीवन आर सोल्जर्स, so they started to learn Ramanatam, the based on epics of Ramayana, the Rama story. And after that, Kottarakara Tambran is written the four stories from the Mahabharata, epics of Mahabharata. So generally that Ramana story is not going to play on that. So the Ramanatam name is forgot. Then they started Kathakali. Katha means story, Kali means play. So common name is become Kathakali. That is Kathakali. And Kathakali is a dance drama, theater actually, dance drama. It's more Abhinaya and dance is there, but Abhinaya is the most important thing as in Abhinaya only. The Kudiyatam, you heard about the Kudiyatam, Sanskrit play of drama है, उसका कृष्णानाटम का सा influence है कथकली के लिए. And the temple arts forms like Teyyam, Tira, all folk dance ka, there are typical size of temple arts forms. All influence are there. And कथकली में जो मेकअप जो किया है, आपका मेकअप का बारे में मैं बोलेगा तो आपको समझेगा. The man is becoming a Superman. That means face हर अलग अलग कैरेक्टर को different types of characters are there, and जो सात्विक अच्छा कैरेक्टर्स को पच्चा बोलते हैं उसको, ग्रीन कलर रहेगा फेस में. And the adama characters, there also the Ravana or Asuras are there. They all are called Katti. Katti means knife only. That here there is a red color and nose के ऊपर एक सफेद गोल रहेगा. इधर सब नामा सब अलग अलग रहेगा. It should be red. And inside there is green only. The third one is Chuvanna Tadi. Chuvanna Tadi means red beard. That is Rakshasas. Like this, his characters का भाव राक्षस का जैसा होगा तो वो character हो जाएगा. अभी दुशासन is not a Rakshasa, but इसका स्वभाव ऐसे ही है. The same time, Bhagasura, Asura also the same. Chuvanna Tadi. That means full red रहेगा. And other makeups, black eyes and everything it is there. And Vellattadi, white beard, that is Hanuman. And Kari, black beard, that is Katala, hunter. And like the female character also there in the Damani. That is becoming Nakaradundi and the Simhiga, like that. Damani's characters are that Kari, both sides, the Katala and Kari, there's both female and male characters are there. And Minika. Minika means like Tejas, Parashurama, Munis, and Strivesham, Brahmins or the female characters, all good characters. It should be yellow, green. Typical days बाकी classical dance forms में कैसे होता है जैसा. And एक इसका पूरा एक कथकली का एक वेश बनने के लिए इसका only that makeup here they are making a सफेद चुट्टी बोलते हैं उसको. वो चुट्टी लगाने के लिए minimum 2.5 hours लगते हैं. 1 hour you have to lay down on this floor, and the artist is making only for that person. But makeup we खुद करना पड़ते हैं. Then the others help is that only that. After that, main things I will explain to you for the makeup. This it is coming in Aharya also. I am not going to explain this much in this. So because the second explanation is about the Satvika and Aharya. So these are the characters, different types of characters are there in Kathakali. Okay, and we are using a small bud, the flower bud is there, that making with the, and you have to crush it and make it in a seed. That seed is going to put in your eyes, then the eyes are becoming very red. So these all, what purpose we are putting, because on the stage, the backside, those who are sitting on the audience, they can also see the what expression they are showing. Okay, these are the Aharya part. Aharya means the costumes type. And Kirida, full big Kirida is there. Costumes, these all are taken from the kind of this Teyyam Tera, that dance forms are, they are using the same things we are also using. For Padayani and Mudiyeta karke dance form. You can find out in the YouTube. So typical Jaisa, that is in the folk dance style only, but it's not a classical dance. But the costumes are same. Some difference are there. And Kathakali में अभी repertoire का जैसा जब रहेगा तो Kathakali program रहेगा तो that day from evening 6-7:30 it will start. Early morning 5 o'clock 6 o'clock is going to finish. आजकल वो नहीं है, मैं पहले जमाने के बारे में बोल रहा. आजकल 2.5 घंटे के बाद में लास्ट बस कभी मिलते हैं, इसके हिसाब से प्रोग्राम खत्म करेगा. 2 घंटा 2.5 घंटे में खत्म करते, कभी कभी 2 मिनट में भी खत्म करते, कभी 20 मिनट में भी खत्म करते. अभी 2 मिनट के लिए कथकली भी पूछते बॉम्बे में, वो अलग है. बट एक्चुअल जो प्रोग्राम शुरू करेगा तो एक स्टोरी will start from 9 o'clock. is going to be finished in the midnight of 2 o'clock. Then the second story will start. That will go off, finish at the 6 o'clock or morning, early morning. The full night, the audience are sitting and watching the program and enjoying. So if there is any program, how they are going to inform the media? What there is a Shabda is Keli, and Chanda Madalam will play in the evening on the temple side. So the people can understand. They know that today there is a Kathakali performance there. So typical Keli drums are there. They are going to play on that day. The program will start with Purappad. The first item is Purappad. Purappada means the name. We have to introduce the story. Which story we are going to do that. The main hero and heroine is going to be present the Purappada. But the students are going to play. The hero is not going to play on that. So for that example, today is a Mahabharata. The Dharmauttara and Panjali will be doing the Purappada. So if we are doing a Bhagavata story, so Krishna and the Radha will be on this stage, or Krishna or Rukmini on this stage. So they are doing the Purappada. After Purappada, the next one is we are going to start the story. The story, the language will be in Mapravala, Malayalam or Sanskrit mix. Typical. And we are using the hand gestures. That typical classical dance forms all are using the typical dance hand gestures are there. So we are using the Hastalakshana Deepika mudras. These mudras are also taken from the Bharata's book. So and now if I am talking about the training, early morning, that these kind of things are different with the other classical dance forms. I will tell you that only Kathakali has this much training is there, because early morning 4 o'clock we are starting the exercise. Early morning 4 o'clock we are applying the oil on this body and we will start the exercise. After exercise, there is the massage, body massage is there. Lie down on the floor and the person will climb on your body, and they have started to do that. The Guruji will do that. This will go up to 6:30, the first section. So early morning 4 to 6:30, full exercise and body exercise. So I told you now first, because the body exercise, what kind of exercise are doing? All are soldiers, those who are doing. Previously, they all are soldiers. I told you that. The soldiers are, honorably, they have started to learn Kathakali, Ramanattam. So, the Kerala martial arts, you heard about that. Kalaripaitu. That Kalaripaitu martial arts forms, how they are doing the exercise. They adopt from them, then make it in, put it in Kathakali style. So, उसका इन्फ्लुएंस है, मार्शल आर्ट्स का इन्फ्लुएंस है, इसके लिए उसका बॉडी का एक्सरसाइज पूरा उसके जैसा होगा. साइड से साइड ऐसा बैठ के बोथ साइड यू हैव टू सिट एंड थ्रो योर legs up and jumping up and down. Those are so many exercises are there, and एक स्टोरी का एक कैरेक्टर, अलग अलग कैरेक्टर रहेगा डिफरेंट स्टोरी में. उसका हर एक टेक्निक भी रहते हैं. इसका कलाशम बोलते हैं. एक स्टेप वी आर डूइंग ए तीर्मानम, इट्स कॉल्ड कलाशम इन कथकली, एंड अदर डांस फॉर्म्स दे आर गोइंग तीर्मानम, त्रिकाल तीर्मानम, मध्यमतनम. देयर इज नो solo dancers in there.
Yes,
all
sir.
are different types of.
Yes. Thank you so.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing these moments for us. Shraddha, I'll request you to have his performance slide. यस गोपाल सर जी, आपने इन कुछ पलों को इत्र की तरह सुगंधित किया है, जो यादें भी छोड़ जाएंगे और धीरे धीरे सुगंधित भी करते जाएंगे। बढ़ते हैं शैलजा ताई आपकी शैली की ओर। हम उत्सुक हैं आपके शैली के बारे में जानने के लिए।
Gurubhyo Namaha. At the outset, let me congratulate Manjari Nrutyakala Mandir for coming up with this wonderful initiative of bringing in awareness about the various Indian classical forms. So regarding Kuchipudi, Kuchipudi is the name of a village that is there on the banks of river Krishna in the Krishna district of Andhra Pradesh. And it is also as old as 500, it has got a 500-year-old history. So, but the first, because of, we have very less time, I will not, start from that there. I will just go very briefly about the history. The first mention of Kuchipudi it is mentioned, the reference of Kuchipudi is mentioned in Machupalli Kaifiyat. Machupalli is a village in Andhra and Kaifiyat is an ordinance. So there they have recorded one incident in which they said ki Kuchipudi Bhagavatars have come there and danced. The dance was about the atrocities of the local leader, local ruler on the local people when they were not paying the taxes and everything on time. So that time the Kuchipudi Bhagavatars, who normally used to present the stories of gods and goddesses from our epics, they presented in a story form the atrocities that has been, the atrocities of the local ruler. So the king gets to know about this and he orders a punishment to the leader. So that is how it has been mentioned that the Kuchipudi Bhagavatars have come to that particular village to perform in front of the king who was visiting. So that is the first mention. So this happened in the year 1509. So then itself it is said that, it is, we come to know that art is not only for the sake of art, art is also for the social welfare. So moving on, Kuchipudi Bhagavatars were nomads, means they used to travel from one place to another, singing and dancing in praise of all the gods and goddesses. They were very well versed in the language, in the music, everything, and in the dance. But that dance, what they were performing, was not in accordance to the principles of Natya Shastra. They were just going from place to place, and even the people used to call them, invite them, to ward off some evil, whatever is there in the village, to ward off the evil. They thought that a Kuchipudi performance, if you praise, if you perform in praise of the gods and goddesses, that evil spirit will be gone. So like that, they used to travel from place to place and stay put in tents for about 6 months, 8 months, and go to nearby villages and perform enact the dance drama, Yakshagana. Kuchipudi Bhagavatars enacted the Yakshagana tradition, and Kuchipudi, to say, is a Yakshagana tradition. Yakshagana tradition is what you see as it has been modified and manifested into the present day dance drama tradition. But the Yakshagana tradition, the gurus only used to perform. So the teachers only used to perform, and they were very well versed in all the literature, the music, and it was a lot of, the conversation was there. And coming to the patronage kind of a thing, then the few of the Kuchipudi families, because this has happened in the Kuchipudi village area, the dance form itself is named after that. So I'm referring it as Kuchipudi dances, Kuchipudi Yakshaganas, because they were narrating about the gods and goddesses. They were called as Bhagavatars. So they narrate the Bhagavata. They not only Bhagavata, all the epics of Ramayana and Mahabharata. So few of the Kuchipudi Bhagavatars, in search of patronage, they moved from Andhra region of Kuchipudi to the Tanjore region, where during the Nayak kings, you know, the Achyutappa Nayak was ruling, he was the ruler at that time when Kuchipudi Bhagavatars moved from Kuchipudi to Tanjore area. So there, Achyutappa Nayak, after seeing their performance and presentations, he was so overwhelmed, he donated, he gifted 4 or 5 villages, Melattur, Saliyamangalam, Sulamangalam and Utukkadu. These are the 4 villages that he has given in gift to the Kuchipudi Bhagavatars and asked them to stay put there. And he himself contributed lot of literature. And the following Nayak kings also contributed lot of works, and they wrote many Yakshaganas, and they gave it to the Kuchipudi Yakshagana Bhagavatars to present it in their style. And now coming back to the Kuchipudi of Andhra Pradesh, Kuchipudi, these Yakshaganas were more of folkish type. They were not according to the principles of Natya Shastra. Siddhendra Yogi, who is the Moola Purusha of Kuchipudi, he thought, he brought in the principles of Natya Shastra. He made the Kuchipudi Bhagavatars learn the aspects of Natya Shastra and go deep and in depth. He made them learn about the Nritya, Natya aspects of Natya Shastra, and he got them trained in the music, in the literature, and all aspects that come under Natya Shastra, the Hastabhinaya and all the aspects, Rasabhinaya, everything. And he himself authored a Yakshagana called as Bhama Kalapam, which is a very, very important text for the Kuchipudi people. And he made a rule that every male child from every family, one male child from every family should learn this Bhama Kalapam and enact for the preservation of the form. And also there was like, you know, Yakshaganas were performed only by men. It was not performed by women. So when I talk about that, I have to tell you about a little bit about the dance tradition of the Andhra region. So dance was like 2 varieties. One is the Nattuva Mela and other is the Natya Mela. Kuchipudi, Yakshaganas come under Natya Mela, which is performed only by males. Not only Yakshaganas, even the Vidhi Natakams, which are the street plays, and they used to perform in every street corner. It was nothing in accordance with the Natya Shastra. Only when after Siddhendra Yogi came into picture, he introduced that classicism into this a bit of folkish style, but the music was always Carnatic music. What they adopted was Carnatic music, but the steps and the refinement happened only after Siddhendra Yogi came into picture. So coming back to Natya Mela and Nattuva Mela, Natya Mela, Yakshagana comes under Natya Mela, and Yakshagana, the Vidhi Bhagavatam, the street plays, and the Pagativesham. Pagativesham is they used to come with heavy makeup during the daytime itself. Whereas Yakshaganas were performed through the night, starting at 9 in the night and going through 5:30 in the morning. So the Natya Mela, the Nattuva Mela is the Alaya Sampradayas, where the Devadasis used to perform inside the Garbhagruha of inside the sanctum sanctorium of the temple, and they were dedicated to the temple culture, proceedings within the temple premises, but outside the Garbhagruha was the Kelika Nritya, where they used to perform the padams and javalis and everything. And this Kelika Nritya slowly became the Kacheri Natya, where it moved to the courts of the kings and rajas and maharajas. So there also they used to perform little bit of kalapams and all, which developed in the eastern coast of Andhra, which is totally another type of dance form, which is the Navajanardhana Parijatam and Andhra Natyam, which is in no way concerned with the Kuchipudi Yakshaganams. The present day Kuchipudi, what you see, has come from the Kuchipudi Yakshaganams, but as time passed, after during the colonial period and the beginning of the 20th century, when there was no patronage because of the freedom struggle, the lands, the Rajas and Maharajas were no more there, and the landlords and the zamindars, they were who were patronaging the art form. Slowly they started diverting the funds towards the freedom struggle. So the mere existence of Kuchipudi Yakshagana, which was involved with a lot of cost, because it was like a troupe, like how Gopalji said that Kathakali is not done by one person, Kuchipudi Yakshaganas were not done by one person. It was a troupe, Melams, they were the troops. So traveling from one place to another and performing was so difficult. So during that time, Bharatakala Prapurna, Vedantam Lakshmi Narayana Shastri, who is one of the pioneers of the Kuchipudi tradition, what he did was he urged women from respectable families to come and learn the Kuchipudi art form, and he fragmented the Yakshaganas from, the Yakshagana tradition, the repertoire of Yakshagana tradition. He took pieces and made into a solo repertoire. Till then, there was no solo repertoire in Kuchipudi. So he introduced Ganesha Stuti and then Jatiswarams, and then he brought in Shabdams written by Sarfoji and the Tanjore kings, the Maratha kings of Tanjore and the Nayak kings of Tanjore. So he introduced all that. Along with that, he also introduced Krishna Leela Tarangini into the repertoire, and then the Jayadeva's Ashtapadis, and then he brought in the Padams and Javalis. Muva, Kshetraya was, he hailed from the village Muva, which is just 10 kilometers from the village of Kuchipudi. So, actually Kuchipudi gurus, they were teaching the Devadasis of the temple, local temples. So like that, he introduced the Padams and Javalis into the repertoire. And then, you see, though he introduced that as, in 1930s and all, it has manifested many times into the present day, what you see Kuchipudi. And this Yakshagana tradition, I don't say that it has become extinct. Due to the great efforts of Vempati Chinasatyam master, these Yakshaganams have been modified into the dance dramas. But then without losing the traditional aspects of the Yakshagana, but he has modified it, and he has brought Kuchipudi a global recognition to Kuchipudi. So this is how the Kuchipudi tradition, from Yakshaganas to solo repertoire, from Yakshaganas to dance drama, it has manifested.
Great, Shailaja Tai. Shraddha, may I request you to have her slide?
this bit is from that Bhama Kalapam, which I mentioned, what Siddhendra Yogi has composed and written. It is about the Satyabhama, how she suffers the pangs of separation. And one more point I would like to add is Kuchipudi got its, it was included as it was the classical status. It got its classical status in the All India Dance Seminar conducted by Sangeet Natak Academy in the year 1958. So we consider Kuchipudi to be still very young, and it is blossoming now. Yes.
What I can say is अपनी खुद की पहचान से महकती हर शैली है, तभी तो बहुत खूब सजी ये शास्त्रीय नृत्य की डाली है। इसी विचार के साथ आगे बढ़ते हैं। प्रतिशा दीदी, आपके स्टाइल के बारे में जानना चाहेंगे और ज्यादा खुशी रहेगी अगर हमें आप वस्तुक्रम, जैसे अभी इन्होंने बताया कि सोलो या ग्रुप में वो कैसे परफॉर्म करते हैं, वैसे अगर आपके शैली के बारे में हम जान पाएंगे तो बहुत सौभाग्य रहेगा। दीदी अनम्यूट करेंगे।
Okay. Sometimes you forget these things. Thank you, Sunila. To start off, I would like to say that Satriya has been a living tradition. It has had a continuous tradition without any break. So it's a dance form from Assam, which is now known. Now, Satriya comes from the word Satra. And Satriya word is a very recent word. And Satra is actually the main word. Satriya word was coined, maybe some 80 years back. And also the dance form has come out from the Satra. I will explain what Satra is very recently. Now, when I say Satra, Satra is like a monastery. It's like a mutt where male performers, male young boys are trained in this dance form. Now, before I go to the whole history, I would have to take the name of the one person, one legend who started this whole thing. And he was Srimanta Shankardev. Assam, of course, had a tradition of Devadasi, but which is no more now. So I would not like to go into that. Srimanta Shankardev was a polymath. He was both all of a dancer, a singer, a painter, a literator, everything. So he was born in 1449. At the age of 32, he had gone on a pilgrimage and then he came back. Now, I would not like to go to his childhood. Definitely, he was a genius. He went out and he came back, and that is when the Bhakti movement was started. He started the Bhakti movement, and that was called Neo-Vaishnavism. Now, before Shankardev, there was Vaishnavism in Assam. As you know, Assam is a place of Narakasur, Bhagadat. These were all, mentioned in the Mahabharata. And Banasur, which is again the thing of Bhagadat, which we all know about Usha, the Parijat Haran and the whole story. So Vaishnavism was always there. But Shankardev brought around Neo-Vaishnavism. Neo-Vaishnavism is because it was based on the Bhagavat only. So his main intent was to spread Vaishnavism through the Bhagavat. This is when he started preaching. And when he started preaching the Vaishnavism, he started also teaching young boys. These young boys used to come from families who were brought. This is a later thing. Initially, he used to preach and he used to make this, the whole Bhagavat, because it was in Sanskrit, in a simpler language, which people could understand. His whole philosophy was Eka Sharan Nam Dharma. Eka Sharan is to surrender to one God. Nam Dharma is the religion of the Nam. So name is very important. As it is mentioned in the Bhagavat, in the Kali Yug, we should take the name of God. So that is what he did. Now, there were young boys that were trained in dance and music in the Satra. There were many Satras, like there are Satras where you have only celibates. They don't get married. And there are also Satras where there are families, where, small families inside the Satra. They follow the same philosophy. Now the dance and music now survives in the Majuli Island in the Kamalabari Satra. And the other things like painting and musical tradition survives in other satras. Now these boys were brought and trained. He was a yogi himself. He followed, he did a lot of Ashtanga yoga. So he trained these boys for their suppleness of the body in this yoga things, postures and yoga practice. But the most important thing is the Satriya dance, which we call Satriya now, is based on the drama tradition. So Shankardev started the drama tradition, which was very much he based everything on the Natya Shastra. So this drama tradition, right from the starting of the Sutradhari, the Sutradhari's dance is very important in the Satriya repertoire, because all the dances later on was based on the Sutradhari dance. So Sutradhari dance had vachan, speech, had dance, and had recitation, and the whole Natya, as it is explained in the Natya Shastra, the whole Natya he created, which is called the Ankya Bhavna. Now Ankya Bhavna is called because of one act. It was a one act play. And Bhavna is again an Assamese name, Jahan Hum Bhav Karte Hain, Bhavna. So this, he based all the dances, like the dances first that came in was the Patra Pravesh. Now we don't say Patra Pravesh, is the Pravesh dance of the Patra, of the character. Like the Krishna Pravesh, Gopi Pravesh, even the Raja Ka Pravesh, those were small dances. And Sutradhari was one who stayed right from the beginning, introducing the dance till the end. So the Satriya philosophy was that it starts slow and it ends slow. So it's like a cycle. You start slow in the bhakti and you end in the bhakti. And the next is starting, it becomes the starting point of the next cycle. So philosophy is very important in this. The other dances that later came in, because Shankardev had his chief disciple Madhav Dev, who added a lot to the dance style. The later dances that came in the repertoire, was a lot of it was added by Madhav Dev. Now there are two kinds of dances. One which are performed in the Namghar. Namghar is like a hall where the name of the Lord is taken. Now I will not go to details of that. So in the Namghar, these independent dances were performed by groups of boys, groups of young boys who dressed up as girls. Now there are two. One is the Krishna ka dress, which is the Tandav style. And one is the female, they used to wear the skirt and they used to wear the ghungat and they used to dance in front of the Lord. Now the Krishna boys and his friends, those used to be dances. Like the dances where when Krishna went and played with his thing and had food in the, Vrindavan, in Yamuna Tatte. So those were dances that were created. Now there is not a straight repertoire. Like, you have in Bharatnatyam, kiye hai, uske baad ye se. They were all according to what the story was at that point of time. But there are around 12 dances that are female oriented, and there are other dances that are male oriented. The concept of Prakriti and Purush is very much there. The Prakriti means the ladies, the female style, the Lasya style, and the Purusha is the Tandav style. Now in Satriya, the Tandav style is not kicking and, going up a lot, jumping a lot. It is a little aggressive than the female thing. Like Jhelam Didi already said, even Tribhanga is a very important part of Satriya dance. And the Andolita movement, the undulation, it goes up and down and up and down. So Shankardev, we have to look at how the region influences the dance style. So there were other dance styles before Shankardev, which is called the Ojapali, that must have influenced. Also the natural surroundings, the rivers and the hills, even though natural surroundings influence the dance style. So now what I would like to say is the main philosophy is very important in the dance styles and in the dramas which were done, the dance dramas, they had everything. They had all the colors and, all the Kamsa used to wear colorful dresses and all the stuff. But in the Satra, the dress of the dancers is to be only white and little bit of red color and dark blue blouses. So the very toned down. It was very much bhakti oriented, this dances there. So I'm trying to make it less, you know, so that it doesn't spill over in the time. So now the musical tradition again is very much different in Sattriya. Is not neither like the Hindustani nor the Carnatic that we are hearing. They are called Borgit. They have their own style. Now this tradition has been continuing right from the 15th to the 16th century till now. It has not broken. Even now you will find them practicing like that. So they never wanted to give it outside to the other, the other lay people to dance. But the music was very much a part of it. People would sing in the daily life. So Shankardev wanted ki kaam karte karte we take the name of God. But the dances were not taught outside. They were mostly danced by male. And now only it has come out and we are doing the dances. So definitely some changes are come. So yeah, I think that's it.
Thank you, Didi. Thank you so much. Shraddha, performance slide, please. अनेकता में एकता का एहसास, हर शैली का जीवन भर शायद यही प्रयास। बढ़ते हैं पूर्विता ताई आपकी तरफ, आपकी नृत्य शैली के बारे में, उनके सीक्वेंस के प्रेजेंटेशन के सीक्वेंस के बारे में जानना चाहेंगे आपसे। पूर्विता ताई, अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ।
Namaskar. Before I start my session, I would like to thank Vaishali Dudeji and Nritya Ranjani for inviting me here today, and also my pranam to all the gurus and stalwarts present here on this platform today. We have a limited time, so I'll try to cover all the aspects in an as concise manner as possible. So as we know, Manipuri dance is one of the most lyrical and graceful dance styles of India. It hails from the northeastern state of Manipur, where the people are highly religious and art-loving. So the music and dance are very much intertwined in their lives, in their everyday lives, right from the childbirth to the thread ceremony, to ear piercing, to marriage, till death. Each occasion is marked by some form of dance or music. Now, I've tried to, the history and origin of Manipuri dance can be divided into two parts. One is the pre-Vaishnavite and the Vaishnavite period. The pre-Vaishnavite period can again be divided into two parts. One is the Lai Harauba and the other is the Thangta. Lai Harauba means merry-making of gods. So, during the pre-Vaishnavite period, the Manipuris used to worship the 364 forest deities. They believed in ancestor worship and also worship of household deities, which is known as Sanamahi Kat. So the priests and priestesses performing this Lai Harauba festival are known as Mai Bas or Mai Bees. The entire process of cosmology and procreation are depicted through 364 hand gestures and through mime dancing. The entire life cycle, right from the child, how the child is formed, to each of the parts of our body, to how we cultivate cotton to make cloths for the child, to house building for the child. The entire life cycle is shown through this dance. Next, we come to Thangta. Thangta is the art of self-defense, and later on it was developed as a dance form because during that time Manipur was constantly being invaded by kings from Burma. So as a form of self-reliance, they developed this form of martial art. The Thangta movements were created to show how gods created the earth. They believed that gods created the earth by stamping and jumping on them, and they kind of leveled or smoothened out the curves on the undulations. So the Thangta movements are based on that style. Thang means spear or sword, and Ta means the Thang means sword, and Ta means spear. Now, during the 18th century, with the advent of Gauriya Vaishnavism in Manipur, it was brought about by Raja Bhagya Chandra. Gauriya Vaishnavism is a devotional cult of Hinduism as advocated by Guru Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. During this period, Manipuri dance can again be divided into two parts. Raja Bhagya Chandra inspired the then gurus, the dance gurus, to create Ras Leelas and Sankirtan. The Ras Leelas are dance dramas depicting the stories of young Krishna playing with his friends and also the love between Radha and Krishna. There are a total of 7 Ras Leelas, 2 involving young Krishna with Balram and their friends, which are done through Udukal Ras and Gop Ras, and the 5 Rasas depicting Pranay Leela, or the love between Radha, Krishna and Gopis. They are performed through the Maharas, the Basant Ras, the Kunja Ras, the Giba Ras and the Nitya Ras. And the first Ras Leela was performed in 1779 by Bhagya Chandra under Bhagya Chandra's guidance. All the Rases are held in the temple and its courtyard, and they last for a period of 8 to 10 hours. And around 40 to 100 gopis, when they wear their full costume and dance, it creates a heavenly atmosphere. Now we come to Sankirtan. Sankirtan means getting together and invoking God. Sangabadh hoke Bhagwan ka naam lena. So during this Vaishnavite period, the Manipuris prayed to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Jugal Roop of Radha Krishna. It was believed that Krishna unme biraj karte the, and he was so fair and good looking, so it was believed that Radha also resided in him. So they prayed to the Chaitanya Dev's Jugal Murti of Radha Krishna. And this was done through highly developed Pung Cholong and Kartal Cholong, accompanied by special music and songs. Now the distinct characteristic of Manipuri dance, which we can find, is the clear demarcation between the Lasya and Tandava styles. The Lasya style is depicted through soft and graceful movements. The expression is through the entire body, and emphasis is not given on a particular part. All the body, the movements, there's a complete balance between all the different parts of the body. The movements are circular and continuous. The hand movements are diagonal, and the hands usually do not go above the head. And the eye and the neck and the head follow the hand movements. We also have the torso movement, which moves along the head like swaying of the bamboo trees, and also ipong, or up and down of the body. These are the 2 maximum frequented postures that we have in the Lasya style. In Tandava again, we have 3 divisions. The basic style, the first is the Gunthanam. That is, the basic style is similar to the Lasya style. It is also known as Krishna Tandav. The movement is very much similar to the Lasya style, except the sitting and the jumping movements. The knees and feet are kept close to each other. Then we have the Chalanam, or the Cholong style. This is usually performed by the Pung players. The movements are energetic and vigorous, and acrobatic movements are used with the knees and the feet apart. Now we have the Prasaranam, or the Thangta, as we have already discussed. It is the dance with the sword and spear. The hands and feet are stretched apart as much as possible. and there are a lot of jumping movements. And as we know, this has been taken from the Manipuri martial arts. Now we will come to the costumes. We cannot complete everything, but I have tried to involve as much as possible, cover the different parts. The main costume of Ras Leela, and as we know, all of us know that the main thing that we wear is the poloi, which is kind of a can looking thing, which is stiff, we wear during the Ras Leelas. The costume, this was envisaged by Raja Bhagya Chandra. He had a dream. And of course, then over the years, and he had explained that to the gurus of that time to make the dress accordingly. And that's how the first Ras Leela was performed, wearing these dresses. But of course, over the period of time, it has developed, it has been modernized, made more complicated, and we get the modern polois. So apart from that, we wear the koktumbi, which is a kind of a headgear. It's called a koktumbi. And we wear a poshwal over the poloi, apart from the veil which covers the face. So generally we have the hand movements when we do Ras Leela are not restricted to the body but kept a little apart so that the audience can see us through the veils. The hand movements can be made out. And Radha wears the red poloi, the green poloi, and the Sakhis or the gopis wear the red polois. The Krishna wears the yellow colored dhoti, the elaborate headgear, and he wears 3 belts, 2 side belts and 1 front belt. Apart from the traditional Ras costume, the Manipuris also use the Mapa Naiba or the striped fane and the inafi. And of course, they have the traditional gold ornaments and the beaded hand and feet bracelets.
Great.
Yes. And of course, as I'm wearing, you can see the chandan or the tilak is a must for all Manipuris, and they wear it on all religious and on any auspicious occasions. So I've tried to cover the different, hopefully it has been meaningful. And
yes, Udita, thank you so much. Shraddha, can we have the performance slide?
वहति नयन मनुरागमिव स्फुटमुदितरशाभिनिवेशम् हरि हरि आहि माधव हरि हरि आहि माधव याहि केशव माधव कैतव वादम् याहि माधव याहि माधव मावद कैतव वादम् महति नयनम् अनुरागमिव स्फुटमुदितरशाभिनिवेशम् महति नयनम् अनुरागमिव तामनुशोरं सरसिरुहोलोचन तामनुशोरं सरसिरुहोलोचन यातपहरति विषाद याहि माधव याहि केशव याहि माधव याहि केशव मावद कैशव वादम् भजन्ज कज्जलमलिन विलोचन चुम्बन विरचित नीलिमरूपम् कज्जलमलिन दशन वशन मरुणं तव कृष्ण तनुतु तनु।
इस बेहतरीन लम्हों को समेटते हुए आगे बढ़ते हैं। अब मैं झेलमताई जी आपके पास आना चाहूंगी। नृत्य ये एक दृक्श्राव्य कला है, इसलिए प्रशिक्षण और रियाज को तो अधिक महत्व दिया ही जाता है। तो उन्हीं के साथ शास्त्र मानी थियरी ये एक महत्वपूर्ण भाग है या नहीं?
ओके, महत्वपूर्ण भाव है या नहीं? हम पर्सनली, मुझे क्या लगता है, अगर किसी को स्कॉलर बनना है तो बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है थियोरी। किसी को टीचर बनना है तो भी महत्वपूर्ण है, और जिसको सिर्फ प्रेजेंटेशन करना है, सिर्फ किसी को सिखाना नहीं, उसके ऊपर कभी बात करनी नहीं, बोलना नहीं, सिर्फ अपना आनंद लेना है, नृत्य लोगों के सामने पेश करना है, तो उतनी जरूरी नहीं है। अगेन हम लोग थियोरी मतलब क्या? व्हाट डू यू डिफाइन एज थियोरी? थियोरी मतलब इतिहास है। थियोरी मतलब जो हमारे बहुत सारे शास्त्र है, नाट्य शास्त्र, अभिनय दर्पण, हमारी अभिनय चंद्रिका है, संगीत रत्नाकर है, उसका अभ्यास मतलब थियोरी है। या जिस प्रदेश से हमारी नृत्य शैली है उसकी संस्कृति जानना थियोरी है, उसकी भाषा जानना थियोरी है, या उस प्रदेश का संगीत आत्मसात करना थियोरी है। थियोरी कैन बी डिफाइंड इन various ways according to me. And मेरी शिक्षा कैसे हुई? हम गुरुजी के घर जाके रहते थे। ये जो अलग अलग हमारे ट्रीटाइजेस है, जैसे कि नाट्य शास्त्र, अभिनय दर्पण, हमारी अभिनय चंद्रिका, गुरुजी ने हमको उसमें से कुछ भी नहीं सिखाया। He did not give us any theory. He just taught us how to dance. लेकिन हम वहां रहते थे, मैं भाषा सीखी, वो रीजन की भाषा सीखी, मेरे लिए वो थियोरी है। हम जैसे कि अभी हम ये करेंगे, लेकिन हम रोज गुरु माँ को देखते थे वो कैसे अपनी पल्लू ऐसे करके कैसे बातें करती थी, वो एक थियोरी है, रियल लाइफ थियोरी। संस्कृति कैसे कैसे रोज सुबह रोज शाम को पूजा होती थी गुरुजी के घर में, वो हमारे लिए थियोरी थी। ओके, लेकिन दिस इज, आई से दिस बिकॉज दिस इज हाउ आई लर्न। लेकिन जब मैंने सोचा कि मैं टीचर भी बनूं, तो मुझे और कुछ चाहिए था। जैसे कि गुरुजी ने हमें ताल तक ज्यादा नहीं सिखाया कि कैसे हम ताल करें। गुरुजी को पूछा तो गुरुजी बोलते थे, अरे तेरे तो शरीर में ताल है, व्हाई डू यू वांट टू नो हाउ टू डू ऑल दिस, यू आर डांसिंग वेल, दैट इज इनफ। और तब वैसे ही हम बड़े हो गए। लेकिन व्हेन आई वांटेड टू टीच, देन आई गॉट दैट अर्ज इन मी कि मुझे थियोरी चाहिए। हाँ, और खुद ये पढ़ो वो पढ़ो, ऐसे ये ज्ञान ले लो। तो इसलिए अकॉर्डिंग टू मी थियोरी की जरूरत, जैसे मैंने शुरू में कहा, right in the beginning, if you want to become a scholar, you definitely need all the theory. You want to become a teacher, you need all the history, the shastras, वो ताल कैसे करते हैं, हमारा म्यूजिक क्या है, वो चाहिए। If you want to become just a presenter, तो सिर्फ म्यूजिक और अपनी ताल की और अपना शरीर कितना परफेक्ट हो जाएगा, that much is necessary. I'm talking very short, because समय नहीं है हमारे पास।
Yes, Jalantai.
Okay.
गोपाल सर जी, आपसे भी इन शॉर्ट ये जानना चाहेंगे, इस विषय पर आपके विचार जानना चाहेंगे इन शॉर्ट।
मेरा ओपिनियन, अभी जयलंताई ने बोला वो मैं सुना, सही है, लेकिन एक बात है, विदाउट थियरी यू कांट डू एनीथिंग। ऐसे प्रेजेंटेशन करके फायदा नहीं है। एक डांस करने के लिए, फोक डांस का नहीं, अपना इंडियन क्लासिकल डांस फॉर्म के लिए, इफ यू वांट टू एलेबोरेट योरसेल्फ, यू नीड द थियरी। अगर स्लोगन आपको मालूम नहीं तो फिर हंसता दिखा के कुछ फायदा नहीं। अगर आपको एक लिरिक्स आप दिखा रहे, उसका मीनिंग्स आपको मालूम नहीं है, तो आप वो जो किया है उसको पूर्णता नहीं हो रही। अगर इसके लिए आपका एक पैर ऐसा रखते तो उसका नाट्यशास्त्र में एक वर्ड है, उसका आगा उबांगा डिफरेंट, उसका एलेबरेट करके उसको बोला है, उसका एक श्लोक में ऐसा बोला है, वो हमको मालूम नहीं। पैर ने ऐसे, गुरुजी ने ऐसे बोला ऐसे मारने के लिए, मैंने ऐसे मारा, बस उससे इनफ नहीं है। नॉलेज के लिए आपको थियरी का इम्पोर्टेंट है। अब अभी जब भी मैडम बोला जी सही है, व्हेन यू आर स्टार्टेड टू टीच सम स्टूडेंट, इफ दे आस्क, आजकल का बच्चे लोग ऐसा नहीं है, आजकल का बच्चे लोग पूछते हैं अभी, व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ दिस, व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ दैट। So that time मेरे जैसे सिखाया नहीं बोलेगा तो नहीं हो सकते। मेरा गुरुजी को हम सीधा जाके आप क्यों नहीं सिखाए वो भी पूछ नहीं सकते। तो परंपरा से अभी अपना पास जो स्टाइल है उसको एलाबरेट करने के लिए वी आर टू स्ट्रगल एंड वी आर टू लर्न द थियरी। आजकल जो अभी का बच्चे लोग को मेरे को इतने बोलने के नया जमाने का ओनली डांस करने का, नाट्य डांस, नाट्य शास्त्र के हिसाब से नाट्य में करने का तो थियरी सीखने के ही है।
थैंक यू सर। यस, आपके इसी विचार के साथ आगे बढ़ते हैं। झेलमताई, मैं फिर आपके पास आना चाहूंगी। शास्त्रीय नृत्य शैली में संगीत वाद्य तंत्र गायन का योगदान कैसा रहा है?
शास्त्रीय नृत्य हो या लोक नृत्य हो या कौन सा भी नृत्य हो, म्यूजिकल विदाउट म्यूजिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स तो हो नहीं सकता, है ना। तो अभी हमारे ओडिसी में जो परकशन है, ओडिसी में गायन होता है, परकशन मतलब रिदमिक जो हो उसको मर्दल कहते हैं। और वो मर्दल इट इज सिमिलर टू पखावज ऑफ द हिंदुस्तानी ट्रेडिशन, लेकिन हमारे इसमें दोनों तरफ स्याही होती है। पखावज को सिर्फ एक साइड में स्याही होती है, लेकिन मर्दल को दोनों साइड में स्याही होती है। दैट इज वाई उसका जो साउंड है ना बहुत स्वीट है। मतलब सो द प्लेइंग ऑफ द मर्दल is very important to bring out the nuances of the Odissi dance style. और हमारे साथ डांस के साथ सितार होती है, फ्लूट तो डेफिनेटली होती है, because Odissi is so much Vaishnavism talking so much about Krishna, तो फ्लूट की तो जरूरत है ही। एंड छोटी झांझ जो होती है जिसको हम गिनी बोलते हैं, वो गिनी भी बहुत इनफैक्ट इन एन ओडिसी परफॉर्मेंस मर्दल के साथ अगर गिनी नहीं रहेगी तो यू फील द एब्सेंस कि कुछ तो कमी है। वो गिनी का साउंड इतना सुंदर है, इतना मतलब जो ओडिसी की ग्रेस है, जो ओडिसी का सॉफ्टनेस है, वो जो मर्दल प्लेइंग एंड गिनी के साथ बहुत अच्छी तरह से जुड़ जाता है। एंड वोकल आवर म्यूजिक, वी ओडिसी म्यूजिक, वेल आई विल से इट इज स्टिल ग्रोइंग, इट इज स्टिल जैसे हिंदुस्तानी और कर्नाटिक म्यूजिक दे हैव अ स्टैम्प ऑफ देयर ओन, एंड वो जैसे है अभी इट्स लाइक देयर, वैसे एक्चुअली ओडिसी भी है, but it is still growing. And I think our music is a beautiful blend of the chaste discipline of Carnatic and the abandon of folk music of Odisha. It's a kind of a combination. But वो अलग शैली है, लेकिन उसको अभी अलग शैली ऐसा स्टैम्प नहीं मिला है। जैसे कि अभी हिंदुस्तानी में आई थिंक जोगिया राग है, और कर्नाटिक में आई थिंक इट इज कॉल्ड सावेरी। वी यूज द सेम राग, सेम आरोह अवरोह, बट उसको हम बोलते हैं सावेरी, लेकिन द वे इट इज संग, कर्नाटिक में कैसे गाएंगे और ओडिसी में कैसे गाएंगे बहुत अलग है। सो आई मीन विदाउट म्यूजिक, विदाउट ऑल दिस, ओडिसी डांस कैन नॉट हैपन।
झेलमताई, पूर्विकाताई, आपके विचार इसी प्रश्न के ऊपर लेना चाहूंगी।
Sorry, I'll move to the Manipuri dance is also steeped with very rich music and very complex rhythm patterns. First, I would start with the songs. Basically, traditionally, Raslila and Sankirtans were written in Padavali language, which is a combination of Old Bengali language, Braja, Brajabuli, Maithili, and Sanskrit language. Nowadays, of course, they are translating into the Meitei language, which is language of the Manipuris. And the songs that time were written by the great poets like Vidyapati, Chandidas, Gyandas, Narottam Das, to name a few. The basic style of singing is called Nata Shaishak. It is a combination of Khulam Isai, which is a Manipuri folk style singing, and Kirtan, which is a Bengali style of singing. Why this is used, it has a peculiar characteristics which involves a tremor in the voice. And it is believed that this tremor helps to enhance Radha's emotions when she faces separation from Sri Krishna, or Radha's Biraha. It helps to enhance the singer's voice with the tremor. It helps to enhance the emotion of the singer. The main instrument that is used, musical instrument is used, is the pung, or the drum. And it is considered to be a very auspicious instrument, as all the dances are composed according to the syllables of this drum. And the trainings of the pung players start at a very early age. From a very early age, the pung players are trained, and they undergo very rigorous training, disciplined training, before they are allowed to perform professionally. And there are various talas used in Manipuri style, starting from 4 beats to 68 beats. I would like to show a small tal, which is tal chali, of 8 beats and 3 stresses. So just hin te ta ta in ta hin te ta ta in ta hin te ta ta in ta hin te kita tam kin te din khara khara tam khara khara tam kit pa kina kina te kina tin. So this is of 8 beats and 3 stresses. The other musical instruments include the flute, Esraj, of course the flute, as Jilam Katai said, that there's always Krishna here, so flute is a must, along with the Esraj, and cymbals, which is also known as Mandila in Manipuri. The ambience or the atmosphere of generally all the dance dramas are performed in temples, so the ambience in the temple are of extremely devotional and religious. So during Bhangi Pareng, we can give an example, like during Bhangi Pareng, which is an integral part of the Ras Leela, the audience cannot get up from their seat. They are expected, and it goes on for 8 to 10 hours. The audience cannot get up from their seat. They remain seated for the entire time, mesmerized with the performance. So this is a kind of, so it's full of bhakti, and it's very religious, and the sanctity is maintained in the.
Thank you, Purvika Tai. अब आगे बढ़ते हुए मैं आऊंगी शैलजा ताई आपके पास. आपकी नृत्य शैली चतुर्विध अभिनय के विविध पहलू खोजने के लिए कैसे सहायता करती है?
All the 4 abhinayas in Kuchipudi, Angika, Aharya, Satvika and Vachika, are interrelated. In Angika, as in any other dance form, Kuchipudi also uses Angas, Upangas and Pratyangas. That is, it is a wholesome presentation of the entire body, right? And we move the head together, I mean simultaneously, we move the arms and we move the feet, and it is, as in any other form, it is the Angika Abhinaya. And coming to Aharya Abhinaya, in I'm talking about the present day Aharya Abhinaya, where the lights, the accessories and the costume according to the character that is being played. If Krishna is played, the character, the artist will be in full Krishna attire. This is all to enhance the rasa, or the interaction between the artist and the audience. Audience will immediately relate to the character. Okay, and Satvika Abhinaya is something which has to come from within. My guru used to say, if you throw that Tatakai Mani stick onto the legs of the student, she or he, the student, will learn the Angika Abhinaya by anyway. But it is very, very difficult to emote, because no guru can teach that emotion. Guru can take there, but then that feeling of emotion should come from within. So this Satvika Abhinaya is, I feel it is much more difficult than the Angika Abhinaya, because you have to, for some time, we have to forget about our surroundings and everything and emote. And when we emote also, there should be a limit. We should not overdo it, or we should not ourselves become the character and lose ourselves on the stage. there is certain limit. So we should not go beyond certain limit while we are emoting the Satvika Abhinaya. But in the Kuchipudi form, the most important thing which is becoming extinct now is the Vachika Abhinaya. In the olden days, during the Yakshagana tradition, it was like, you know, the Natvanar used to become the Sutradhari, and the character used to come and sit and do the Natvangam for some time. You know, the entire Melam, the entire troupe was well versed with their characters and everything. Today, somebody would have donned the character of a Sutradhara, and tomorrow he will become a Natvanar, and somebody else would come and do the character of the Sutradhar. And there are these Sambada Darubus in Sambada means, you know, the question, answer, talking thing. So the story used to be enacted for the lay people and also the learned people. So for the learned people, the story used to go through the literature, the song, and everything. But for the learned people, for the lay people, there used to be a person in between who would carry the questions from the audience to the Sutradhar. So there the story used to get connected through the Sandhi Vachan. Sandhi Vachan means the spoken word. That's how Vachika Abhinaya has become very, very important in the Kuchipudi repertoire. Even in the Bhama Kalapam that we do nowadays, we have, even in the Shabdams that is there in our repertoire, Vachika Abhinaya is used very widely. But coming to the dance drama traditions, from the Yakshaganas, we have now, you know, it has been manifested, modified into the latest dance drama traditions. Because of many reasons, you know, because the language that we use is Telugu. When we go out of the Telugu speaking states, the people may not understand the language. Okay, and so even the dialogue delivery is being tuned. The dialogues are there, but it has been tuned into the musical way and being rendered by the musician. So the artists are, you know, ending up only enacting it. So the essence of that Vachika Abhinaya is being lost. But to cover up to that lost Vachika Abhinaya, people are bringing in more of Nrutta and Nrutya elements into the dance drama tradition of the Yakshagana. So the Vachika Abhinaya plays a very, very important role. And one more thing is, nowadays, even the live orchestra, live musicians, we are not able to take live musicians everywhere. It is the recording. But when you are having a recording, how do you do the Vachika Abhinaya? Where you cut, where you start? You know, it is possible only when there is the live orchestra and the live musicians. So Kuchipudi is unique because of its Vachika Abhinaya. So for me, I would like to promote this Vachika Abhinaya style, because unless we artists, we dancers, you know, don't take care of the rich heritage and the rich cultural, the flow that is coming, in future we cannot give it in the same pure form to the younger generation. So we want to maintain that Vachika Abhinaya aspect in Kuchipudi also.
इसी प्रश्न के साथ प्रतीक्षा दीदी मैं आपके पास आना चाहूंगी, आपके विचार जानना चाहूंगी.
So sorry, I'm continuing in English only, so that the flow remains correct. Okay, so in Satriya dance, as I already said, I didn't go to the details because I knew this question was coming. So basically the dance, which we call Nach, the Nritya aspect and the drama aspects are two different aspects. So the Nritya aspect, the format of a dance is always in three parts. The Angik, I'm talking about the Angik. So first is the beginning, which is called the Ramdani, then the Gitornas, and then the Melanas. So in Satriya, a very peculiar thing is in the Gitornas, although they say Gitornas, which means Geet is there, but the Geet Abhinaya is to never happen. The dance was, the way it was constructed, the whole thing, even in the Geet was going on, they used to keep dancing. But when it came to the drama section, all the acting part, all the Abhinaya part, Vachik or acting was more concentrated on the drama side. Now that is the Angik part. the main posture is, when you comes to the Nritya, is the squatting posture, the half sitting posture, which we call Ora. And the movement of the dance is to be like Jailam Didi has already, demonstrated the movement of the, torso. So, and one has to notice how the sound actually represents the body movement. So it is kitta, di, na, di, ta, ni, kit, di. So it goes in that body movement, and the hand also moves in a circle. It is never stretched out. So it is always, this part is bent. The elbow is bent. Wherever we go, the elbow is bent. The elbow should not be stretched out. That's how we maintain the style. The elbow is always bent. Now coming to the drama part, there are fixed bowls that were given for the entry of whether the king or the rishi. Just to give some examples, like if the king enters, he enters very slow, with the gambhir thing. So it's kit tak zit de tak dina dhani down dhinna zit de na de down. So it gives that sound ka, even the body goes according to that. Now a rishi muni enters, the whole this thing again, sound is different. Zit de takiti taki down tak. Zit de takiti taki down tak. The sound reproduces the body movement. Another aspect of the Angika Abhinaya is the bowls are never sung out. By the percussion only plays. He never sings out the bowls, which maybe we see even in Odissi or in Bharatanatyam, bowl is sung out. There are only particular bowls which were sung out. Like in Sutradhari, they sing out. First, they will sing out the bowl like drim, 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 thana, drimiki, thana, drim, 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 thana, drimiki, thana, thana, na, 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 drimiki, thana, thana, na, 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 drimiki, thana, ghena, 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 gheni. Like that, he will sing and then he will dance. That is the tradition. That I didn't even complete the whole thing because I didn't want to make it long. The vachik is very much important. Vachan, which is spoken. It's very much important in the Natya aspect. I'm talking about the Natya aspect. Now, the whole pattern is the Sutradhar will come. He will say what is happening. Then that will happen. He will say, Abhi, Narada has come and Narada is telling this to Krishna. Then it happens. So, Vachika Abhinaya, I'm not going and speaking out, is very important. Aharya is, as I always said, for the Nritya part, dance which is done inside the Namghar is very, very simple colors, but when it comes to drama, it is according to the character. So all the crowns and everything is there, the whole gamut of according to the character. In the Nritya concept, simple, but only thing that is added to add things, a lot of embroidery work was used in the waist, which is called kanchi or the kinkini. These again is according to the Natya Shastra. And now, Angik, Vachik, Aharya, Satvik. Satvik is anyway, that is what you feel. So that is never taught. So this basically covers everything. I'm trying to keep it as small as possible.
Yes, Pratisha, thank you so much. Gopal sir, आप in short कुछ add करना चाहेंगे इसी प्रश्न के ऊपर?
Yes. मेरे को खाली इतने बोलने के लिए, whatever it is, I'm not going to talk. The Angika and Aharya. Especially, I want to talk about the Sattvika Abhinaya and the Vachika. The Aharya already explained the first section I told you. The thing is that the Sattvika Abhinaya, the difference between what are the extra trainings we are giving in Kathakali for the facial expression. The inner feelings are representing, that's character as represented in the inner feelings. I agree with all that. All dance forms are on it. But in Kathakali, special training is given as to how your facial muscles, lips, eyebrows, eyes. So that I will show one thing. If you are doing a Raudra, you need your seeing or not, I don't know that. So these we are giving a training for this. And here also, if you are showing the Karuna, these muscle, these exercise, this. If I am started to talk about these all things, this will take 1 hour. So I'm reducing. The thing is that only these kind of exercise are more important. So Satyika and Ankika. Body, I told you now, with the hastas and everything. Is that how communication, whatever you are talking, with hastas can show, and we currently people can say we are elaborating hastas, singular and plural. Every words we are keeping and doing. We talk with the hastas in between the other person who was standing there. We can show with the hand gestures we are going to come or not. Like you can speak with the hastas, and the 24 hastas are there, and with 24 hastas there are so many other hastas are like aisa means single and plural, whatever the two both hands ka, two hastas, single hands ka sab kar sakte. That's a different thing. And Vajika, the main singers are both singers are singing in the back there, the character. What expression what we are doing in the bhava, in singing में भी वही भाव रहना चाहिए. तो भाव के हिसाब से वो डांसर कैसे एक्सप्रेशन देते हैं, जैसा भाव पीछे से जो म्यूजिशियन को भी रहेगा, साइड में जो बजाते हैं चंदा वाला, उसका एक एक हस्ता का म्यूजिक का पर ऐसा किया टडम ऐसा एक आवाज दिया तो उसका शक्ति उसमें मिलते हैं हमको. There are so many things I want to explain to you, but there is no time. Time limits are there, so I'm sorry.
Yes, thank you so much, Gopal sir.
Thank you.
इस पुष्प के अंत में हम आपका मार्गदर्शन चाहते हैं प्रतीशा ताई इस विषय पर कि एक सर्जनशील शास्त्रीय नर्तक ऐसी पहचान बनाने के लिए और कलात्मकता बढ़ाने के लिए एक प्रयोगशील नर्तक अपनी विचारधारा कैसे बनाए.
For me, it is very simple. It is first is purpose. Why do you आप क्यों करना चाहते हो? Whatever you want to do, why do you want to do it? Second is the content. So once you decide why you want to do it, then you research on the content. And after you research on the content and you have got the content, then the execution. So how do you execute it? If these three things come together, then I think you can go forward and do. But these three things are very important to go ahead in the, I hope I have answered, because you asked in Hindi, you know, I thought I was reading it in English. But anyway, these three things are very important for at any point of time. I mean, to do any new concept, any new choreography, these three things are important for me, and that's how I do it. Thank you.
प्रतीशा ताई. पूर्विता ताई, आपके विचार इसी प्रश्न के ऊपर जानना चाहूंगी.
Yeah, I also agree with Pratisha ji completely. Nowadays, we see a lot of, people just maybe a few institutes, they are just giving like a concise course within 15 days. You can learn this entire dance style like that. We see a lot of, and so students come to us, they want to do programs in maybe 6 months, they will learn. First thing that they come to us and they say that when we can perform, not only the students, even the parents. So how we have been trained 30-35 years each, and we have not even thought of any programs till the first maybe at least 3 to 4 years. We were just made to practice. And I'm from Calcutta. I can say personally, it was like Chilam Tai also said, from morning, I of course didn't stay in my Guruji's house, but from 7 o'clock in the morning, every day, Monday to Monday, we had practice from 7 in the morning. And my Guru Bipin Singh, he used to sit in the chair, and we had such a beautiful relationship with him. We used to walk into the class, and first thing he used to say, if the rehearsal was at 7 o'clock, he used to say, why have you come so late? The rehearsal is at 6:30. So every day, if it was at 7:30, he would say, why have you come now? The rehearsal was at 7. So we had a very beautiful relationship which lasted for years. In the mornings, we used to go practice for 3 hours, go to our respective schools, colleges, again come back in the evening, again practice. So that years and years of that rigorous training, that leads to a certain kind of, maybe I will not say it in my own words, but a certain amount of expertise maybe in that dance. But now when we see the students, they are coming to us and they want to finish the thing within a couple of years, and they think they are complete dancers. This mindset, and then they are opening up their own school and they are doing something creative. So I feel the main thing is to have in-depth knowledge of both the theory and the all the different, the shastras, the talas. You have to have the complete knowledge of all these before you can even start off doing something innovative of your own. And that also has to be within the classical framework.
Yes.
I feel.
Yes. Thank you, पूर्विता ताई. भगवान जगन्नाथ जी को महत्व देने वाली ओडिसी, विविध रंगभूषा से खुद की एक स्वतंत्र पहचान बनाने वाली कथकली, तांडव लास्य तत्वों का अद्भुत मिश्रण दिखाने वाली कुचिपुड़ी, आध्यात्मिक मूल्यों की अभिव्यक्ति दिखाने वाली धार्मिक कला मणिपुरी, अपनी मूल तकनीक और शैली पर खरी उतरने वाली एकमात्र शास्त्रीय आसामी नृत्य शैली सत्रिया. इन सभी नृत्य शैली की खुद की अपनी एक सादगी है जो आज भी हमें उनकी तरफ दिन ब दिन आकर्षित करती रहती है. आज इसी मोड़ पर आपसे अलविदा करना चाहूंगी. हमारे आज के सभी पैनलिस्ट का मैं तहे दिल से शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहूंगी कि उन्होंने आज के हमारे विषय को इतनी सरलता से पेश किया. इस उपक्रम से जुड़े हर एक मंजीरियन की मैं आभारी हूँ. हम मंजीरियंस नृत्य स्पंदने बातचीत कला के साथ इस मासिक उपक्रम द्वारा अनेक अभ्यासपूर्ण विषय लेकर आपसे मिलते ही रहेंगे. और एक बार मान्यवरों का, आप सभी रसिक प्रेक्षकों का मनपूर्वक आभार प्रदर्शित करते हुए आज यहाँ अल्प विराम लेना चाहूंगी. फिर मिलेंगे, तब तक जीते रहो, रियाज करते रहो.
थैंक यू, टेक केयर. थैंक यू
so much.
Thank you
to all of you.
सबको नमस्कार. थैंक यू.